Hey everybody, welcome back to Cookie Gaming. Today we are playing more Pentiment. Now last time was a really fascinating episode. We started by continuing the story as usual, having dinner with the abbot, where he told us how upset he was by the townspeople. We then went to the festival, chatted with everybody, had a nice night, but when Andreas went to bed, we had this really fascinating and revealing dream sequence where we found out that Andreas had actually lost his child, which might be why he's really lost a lot of the love in his life. We had this really great sequence with Melancholia, some great stuff. We've woken up clearly in the middle of the night, and we have to go find Casper, our apprentice who went to go, I believe, forage for herbs with some of the townspeople, which is sure to cause issues with the abbot, given he wants complete control over the land. But either way, we've got Andreas out at night, and we're gonna go find out what is happening here. Hopefully, Casper's alright. I mean, obviously, the scene last time made everything hit a little harder, right? Learning that Andreas had this personal tragedy, and earlier I'd said that we sort of saw Casper like a son. So I'm getting a little worried, I have to say. But the depth that it added to Andreas' character in explaining why he'd become like this, right? We saw him after these 7 years, and I was like, dang, Andreas has really become quite cynical over these last few years. You know why? And other things. There's a lot of commotion tonight. It sounds like everyone's gone to the woods. Well, that's where we're going too. Oh, oh, everybody's just hanging out in here, huh? Well, let's see. See if anything's going on with Smokey. We also chatted with Smokey last time, and he basically said to us, I was trying to convince him to step in and help the townspeople. And he was like, well, they don't help me, so why should I care about them? And I was sort of like, well, you know what, fair enough. Ah, Casper. How's it going, Casper? Well, it looks like he's alright, so I'm grateful. Master Andreas, what are you doing out here? So, I love it. Well, our options with Casper is we could be, you know, we can reprimand him. That's always been an option. Or we can be a little more gentle. I'm never gonna reprimand young Casper. He's been so good. Casper, thank God. I was worried when you didn't come back. Where have you been? I was at the bonfire with Killian, but I heard a ruckus from deeper in the woods. I left to go see what it was. Okay. Fair enough. I'm glad you're alright, Casper. Honestly, after those scenes we had last time, like I said, I was pretty worried about you. Oh. Father, no. What are you doing out here? I was chasing one of the townsfolk, but lost track of the costumed buffoon. The forest is off limits. I'll figure out who's breaking the rules and excommunicate them myself. Brother, you do not have the authority to do that. We talked about this last time, where Father Gurno, you know, we've seen this whole thing where he basically wants to strip the land away from the peasants. And he was like, well, I'm gonna excommunicate them, kick him out of the church. And Andreas was like, you can't do that. And Gurno was basically like, yeah, but I've got friends in high places. So he's on a warpath. Oh, Jesus. What was that? Someone's screaming in town. They're really taking this nonsense too far this year. Let's go back to town together and see what the noise was. It seemed like a little more than fooling around, Gurno. Oh, great. Now we've got Father Gurno with us. Oh my goodness. What the hell is happening? Oh no. Huh. I've never seen these flowers before. I wonder where they found them. Who was that running off anyway? Casper, not to make predictions too early. All I'm gonna say is the last time we heard a scream like that, there was a murder. So, my guess is that something terrible has happened. It's too hard to tell who's who in those stupid costumes. We can worry about that later. Let's check on the town first. God, if like a murderous... Oh no. Werner, is he... Who is it? Oh, it's Otto? Oh my god, is that Otto down there? I think it is. Dead. Yes, I'm afraid so. Someone released the rope. Platform crushed him. What? How did this happen? Altus and Lenhart and I heard the crash and stepped outside to see what had happened. That's Otto, right? Just on the assumption it is, because I'm pretty sure it is. God damn it, every time we come here, a friend of ours gets murdered. Right, and then we saw a figure in a costume rushing off from the Wrath House. Right, so, I knew it! I knew something terrible had happened. So that was the figure in the costume we saw running past us. Wait a minute. Okay, maybe I'm, I'm like, I've got conspiracies going here. All I'm gonna say is I remember... Well, actually, there's probably no relation now that I think about it. But I remember 7 years ago, before the Baron was murdered, right? So this was before that. But we had that white figure hopping around in the aqueduct behind us. A ghost? Or maybe someone in a white costume? Let's have a think about that. So they were running off from the Wrath House, which we learned was the community hall where people meet. And of course, Otto actually had a bit of beef, I believe, with the local council. He felt like the people were not being adequately represented, basically. It must have been whoever released the rope. And what were you doing during all of this, Lenhart? Uh-oh. Enjoying a light meal with these gentlemen. I mean, look, no one likes Lenhart, but if he's got witnesses... I mean, the doctor's kind of an asshole, but I'd be, I'll take his word that Lenhart was there. And then Baltus. So he does have, he's got witnesses who were with him. What a shame you can't blame me for this, Peter. Casper, look to see if Otto had a note. Damn, confirmed. This is very interesting. Killed by someone running from the Wrath House. What, is this related to the struggle of the peasants versus the church? And versus the abbey? Why Otto? Aaron Rothvogel, once again, I'm not one to justify murder, but you understood why he got what was coming. He was a bad guy, he'd harmed a lot of people. It was sort of like, people had reasons to want to get rid of him. But Otto? I mean, some people have reasons to get rid of him, like the abbot, for example. Frankly, this doesn't paint him in a very good light, though the abbot himself was with us. But aside from that, Otto was pretty well liked around the town. Do it. Yeah, go and do it, Casper. Sorry to put you in the middle of this. No, Master. There's nothing. Are you certain? That's a little suspicious. What were you expecting? I'm sure. Yeah, well, same as Andreas, I was expecting one of those fancy notes. Maybe this was a punishment for us, right? That we'd come back. One of our friends had been killed. Andreas, just as I made the connection immediately, Andreas is also thinking, this has got to be connected to that killing 7 years ago. And, I mean, who knows, maybe it's not, but given the fact that we're playing a video game, not to metagame too much, but I gotta assume the two are connected. My god! Oh god. This is pretty horrible. Otto! No, no! You. The abbot must have killed him. Yeah, so, like I said, this doesn't make the abbot look very good. So, I can understand why suspicion would be turned towards the abbot immediately. I mean, once again, think about it. Who had motive to kill or just get rid of Otto? Well, the abbot. The bastard always had it out for Otto. We all knew it. Uh-oh. We need answers. How dare you? I would just stand here and be accused of such a foul act by a peasant? This guy's such a dickhead and a dipshit. I'm sorry to say. No, I'm not. Like, dude, the abbot, first of all, just such an ass. Really, dude? Is this a time to be bringing out the anti-peasant sentiment that you have? Secondly, what a moron. Don't you realize this looks pretty bad for you? The townspeople are already up in arms because of you. You gotta make sure right now that you know, don't find yourself accused and blamed for this. Just like, by the way, you blamed Piero those 7 years ago. You know what? Maybe this is all deserved. No, I don't, was the abbot involved? I don't know. Maybe we'll do another investigation. But I can say the abbot himself didn't physically commit the act. He was with us. But, brother, the town is already on the verge of a revolt, a rebellion. This ain't gonna help. In fact, it's probably gonna cause it. Otto's gonna be seen as a martyr by his followers, who will probably believe that you had something to do with his murder. We ran off. Go after him. Yeah, not a good move running off. Wait, no, the abbot was with us. He's innocent. Jeez, okay, that's right. There's no way he could have killed Otto. Grab the Otterston, the boy, too. We'll get to the bottom of this. Uh-oh. Jasper, run! Oh, no. Oh, no. This has gone from bad to worse. To the Abbey! Oh, no. Oh, God. Great. Now we're on the side of the abbot now. Damn it, this is not what I wanted to happen. Oh, no. We're literally running from an enraged, torch-wielding peasant mob. This is about as bad as it gets, folks. Frankly, Andreas, I'm shocked you're fast enough to escape them, just given the last running scene we had from him, which was not that impressive. Brothers! To the library, now! Oh my god. This is crazy. They ran through the church, this way. God. Let me in! Let me in! Lock the door! Oh no. Andreas, get out of the way. Otto's death demands justice. Hey man, I'm not here to protect anybody. I just don't want to get torched myself. The abbot couldn't have killed Otto. He was with us when we found the body. That's true. He did arrive with you. But you don't know where he was before that, do you, Andreas? Who else would want to kill Otto? Horde, killer, Andreas, move. Damn. Okay, so Andreas is determined to stand his ground. Alright, I mean, look, that's principled. I'll give you that. I don't know if I'd have your same bravery, Andreas. If you go after Gernot, the real killer will get away. No mercy. Face us! He's a monster. If those monks don't come out, we'll set fire to the whole place and cook them. This is the rebellion in action. It's happening. Otto's death has caused it. If the abbot really was behind this somehow, it was the worst mistake he could have made. Now, would he be smart enough to know that? If he is, then it's actually evidence that he didn't do it, because it really is not a good move for him, but I don't know. Like I said, he didn't do it physically, he was with us. Was he involved? Probably not. Might be a little too obvious. You've all gone mad! That's funny. You all have good reasons to hate the abbot. Yeah, I'm just not... Um... That's not really an argument at all. This, frankly, Andreas, I hate to say it, I'm just not sure your word is worth that much to these townspeople these days. Especially not in this situation. So, in my opinion, this is the only option that presents an alternative, right? Because when you're in a situation like this, the people are determined, they've got one option that they've chosen, you need to show them there's another way out. So, look, Gurnot wasn't the only one who disagreed or disliked Otto. There must be someone else who killed him. We should figure out why someone else would want to kill him. Fine, damn it. You've got 1 day to find whoever you think is the real killer, Andreas. No. So we're doing this again, huh? In order to save the abbot, who I don't even like, we have to pin this on somebody else. Damn it. Otherwise, we will come back for the abbot. Andreas, all I want is justice for my husband. Please, you must find the murderer. Ava, Otto was a good man. I won't stop until I find who killed him. You've given me 1 day. That's not enough time. Yet. What a way to start the day. This is challenging because last time, our first investigation 7 years ago, I had 2 main motivations. 1 was finding out what really happened. 2 was protecting Piero. And in the end, I wasn't convinced I really knew who had committed the murder. But, frankly, though it may be immoral, I decided it was worth pinning it on somebody who I thought was, could be guilty in order to save Piero's life. If I get to that same position now, if I'm not sure I have the culprit, would I be willing to pin it on someone who I think might be guilty to save the life of the abbot? I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, that doesn't seem like a good trade to me. Once again, I'm not even talking about principle here, but just that Andreas valued Piero, his friendship, all of that, and the abbot has been nothing but bad, both to us and to the community. I feel like I need to really be convinced I'd found the real culprit to choose to turn someone in, basically. The peasant, but once again, we do know that Gurnot didn't do it, right? So I guess with Piero, you never could truly be sure, though I was pretty sure he hadn't done it. With Gurnot, and this is actually smart that they had Gurnot with us, because it means, though, I imagine most people who played the game don't really like Gurnot that much, but they've made it so we know for a fact he is not guilty. Now, once again, is he involved? I don't know, but he's not guilty of the murder itself. And so if you want to stand on principle, then you gotta defend the guy. The peasants are really convinced that Gurnot killed Otto, but it was impossible. That's kind of how I feel. But yeah, it's no secret that Gurnot and Otto were at odds. Many of the peasants hate the abbot and would like to see him suffer like they have. Master, Peter was furious. He's only given you a day to find the murderer. Why'd you even agree to find who really killed Otto anyway? It didn't turn out well last time, did it? Why do it again? Yeah, honestly, Casper, you might be right. And I'm still not... I know we didn't find a note, but... I don't know, maybe this really isn't connected to the murder of the Baron. They do seem to be 2 very different murders, to be honest. But they seem strange. Bro, that is... Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Andreas is like... I mean, it's actually quite tragic, knowing what we learned last time. But still, yeah, I'm gonna help solve this murder so I don't have to go home. I mean, Jesus Christ, Andreas. I am. We'll be a little principled for a moment. Look, everyone deserves justice, Casper. You have a good heart, Master Andreas. I hope so. So, who do you think did it then? Where do we even start? We should talk to Lenhart. He always hated the peasants and supported the abbot. Yeah, I mean, frankly, as you saw, after people found Otto, they first went to Lenhart and then to the abbot, right? You know, we have, these modern sort of legal systems today where, I mean, it depends the country you go to, but we have this sort of oppositional system in the US where you've got your lawyer, your defense lawyer, your prosecutor, and, you're finding evidence and you need to prove the crime beyond a reasonable doubt, all these type of things. Well, at this time in history, not to say there was no legal thinking, there was, but oftentimes the guilt of someone was merely judged by how highly regarded they were in the community. I mean, honestly, character witnesses were like the main type of witnesses back in the day, in part because it was just so hard at this time to prove someone had actually done something. I mean, imagine the forms of evidence we have now. Videos and photographs and fingerprints and DNA evidence, they didn't have none of that, right? So you're probably not going to get a lot of evidence. And so what happened is just if someone was held in high regard by the community and lots of important people came out and said, hey, he's a good guy, blah, 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 they'd probably get off with it. If there was someone who was widely disliked by the community, even with the same amount of evidence, they'd probably be punished. And that's what we're seeing here. Otto was killed. First person to be accused was Lenhart, and then the abbot, right? So two of the most hated people in town. Lenhart was very vocal against Otto in the town commons the other day. Well, even if he didn't kill Otto, he might know who else had the motivation to. Yeah, I'd like to talk to Baltus and to the doctor, just to confirm what Lenhart said, that he actually was with them. And, that we don't have a situation where, yeah, Lenhart stepped out to use the bathroom and was gone for half an hour. But also, I mean, we saw the cloaked figure running by us, who we assume was the murderer. I would like to go and check those flowers again in the woods. That seems important. And what about Martin Bauer? When we saw him talking to Otto, they seemed to be arguing over something. It's not likely Martin supported Otto and the peasants. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, Martin, he wasn't a swell guy, but he seems to have changed over the years. He was aligned with Otto. I'd be really shocked if Martin was the one who did it. It'd be worth talking to Martin to see what they were discussing. He might have had an idea of who would want to kill Otto. Good idea. Who else? I'm sure we can find some other suspects. We'll have to do some more investigating to find out who the murderer is, but we'd better move fast. Did the murderer confess to Father Thomas? I mean, I think probably not, honestly. However, we could eavesdrop on confessions. Since St. John's Eve just happened, the townsfolk will all come in to confess. Oh yeah, one of the townsfolk might have heard something anyway. That's a good place to start. We could also ask around at the Golden Hand. Travelers might have heard or seen something useful. Yes, Casper, you've got it. What about the person who ran by us in the forest? They were wearing these flowers. I've never seen them before. Oh, you have some. That is useful. Hey, we have to find the source of those flowers in the woods. That might give us some sort of connection to the killer. I bet we could go up to the Abbey and talk to some of the sisters. They might know something about that. We have a lot of good places to start. Even though time is short, we have a good chance at finding the real killer. Alright, let's get to work. Well, I'm glad you think we have a chance, because I'm not so sure, Andreas. We have a day. So I gotta be really careful with the time I spend. That's what I learned in the first few episodes of playing this game. That you only have so much time. So we need to... Oh, hello. Hello, young one. We need to basically try everything before we commit to doing something. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna sort of probe all these different leads we have, and then with the limited time, determine which are worth investigating further. Let's take a look at our quests here. Involved in solving another murder. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what I'm more concerned about, even beyond Gurno, is the rest of the monks. Because I wonder, if we gave over Gurno, would that be enough? Would they just take him? Or would would they, because he was threatened to burn the place down, because Gurno wouldn't come out. Well, who knows what would happen if he did? Would they still destroy the place? What would happen to the rest of the monks? And that would certainly cause retribution. Though, even if Gurno gets out of this alive, there is gonna be retribution from above. I don't mean from God. I mean from the local authorities. So yeah. Okay, well, let's... Oh, goodness. Let's talk to everybody in here. Hello, Master Mahler. Anything I can do for you? Yes, actually. Oh, you're pretty... Did you kill Otto? You were pretty vocal against Otto in the town commons. What was that about? Just what I said then. I don't want anyone to get hurt, especially now. We've already had one death in tossing. We don't need any more. You were opposed to Otto's ideas, though. He spoke against violence. Otto was an ideologue. He didn't see the reality of the situation. I don't know if that's fair. I think he did. I mean, he was certainly... he was zealous in his beliefs, but... I think he saw the situation. Yeah, this is the truth. And I'd be shocked if, she or her family killed him over this. Seems extraordinarily petty to me. Or maybe not petty, but I doubt it. But this is why. I mean, it's not just that she was opposed to violence. She doesn't want the situation to get out of control, because like she says, they rely on pilgrims and travelers. And at this time, a lot of travelers were pilgrims, right? And so, if the town goes into revolt, if something happens to the abbey, if something happens to their religious relic, who knows what's going to happen to their business? If Otto got his way, everything would be chaos. Swabia is burning at it as it is, yeah. Not good for business. We need the law to live civilized lives, Andreas. What Otto was advocating for scared me. I'll do whatever I can to find the murderer and instill order again, Hannah. Thank you, Master Mahler. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks. Oh, wow. There's lots of people in here. I feel like this place is always empty. Killian, Nico. We have our... Who the hell is this? And one of you commented telling me, what Samuel actually was. I forget the name, but certainly, but specifically, certain type of mercenary. Which I know I recognized the uniform, right? Not from real life, but I've seen it reading about history somewhere. So thank you for the added information. I will say, I'm not an expert on medieval history, but I do still find the history of the era interesting. Master Mahler, is there anything I can do for you? Nico, have you heard anyone in here talking about Otto's murder? Not just talking about it, but, Yeah, exactly. I like we've got our little apprentice detective here. Like they had something to do with it? Oh no, I think I'd remember something like that. Then again, I try not to eavesdrop on conversations. I don't want to get yelled at, or worse. But maybe you could find more luck talking to people? Beer always tends to loosen people's lips. Buy around for everyone, and you can have the run of the place. You'll be here a while, though. Maybe later. Till then. I mean, I think it is worth trying, but is it worth trying when I've got a day? Do I want to spend a couple hours of that day chatting to people at the tavern? Maybe, but I'm not so sure. I don't think that's the best use of my time. Killian? Good day to you. Joshua? Joshua? So maybe we will come back here later. Let me think about what I want to do next. Yeah, the miller. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's search the forest first. That's what I want to try. Got a pet Schlau, come on now. It's just the right thing to do, guys. Can't believe Otto just got killed, man. That's a loss. That's a legit loss. In more ways than one. You know, personally, politically, it's gonna rile everybody up. It's not good. You know, like I said, once again, not to justify murder in any way, but when Rothvogel died, you know, you weren't losing a whole lot, or at least he did a lot more bad than he did good, right? Oh, look at these flowers, Master. Yes, but these don't match the ones you picked up. We should keep looking. Oh, I see. So we just have to, Oh, okay. I see. Okay. We're looking for yellow flowers. Look, Master Andreas, flowers. Got an achievement. Smell the roses. They're not the ones you found, though. See the petals? Let's keep looking. Okay, we're looking for some yellow flowers. So not these either. That's time. Do you think it was this time that they dropped? Oh. Wait a minute. Here's some flowers, Master. Close, but not a match to the ones you found. Okay. I thought we'd got them there. Hey, Smokey. Good to see you too. Let's search the other end of the forest. Maybe down here. Not these ones, but I'm checking every flower, because might as well. What about these? Nope. These ones are red. Oh, wait a minute. Hello? Let me check. These kind of look like the right flowers, no? They're yellow. Am I wrong? More flowers. Not quite the match we're looking for. What? I thought... I swear to God, those yellow ones we just saw kind of looked like a match. But maybe I'm wrong. Is it not those? Maybe not. Okay. Well, where haven't I looked then? We've been through here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I see. I see what's happening. You have to look around before they let you through. Okay. Sir, I think I see an opening behind these trees that leads to a deeper area of the forest. Could this be where that mysterious costumed figure ran when Otto was murdered? We should see where it leads. It could take a while, though. We'll come back. Okay. What the hell? Nymphaeum? Nymphaeum? Like I said, I'm gonna check everything before I commit, but I can almost guarantee I'm gonna check that out. Because that is worth looking at. In fact, I don't think... Yeah, I'm gonna write it down in my little notebook. I think that's probably what we are gonna do with our extra time. Because I think that could be... I mean, look, when you're solving a murder, go to the scene of the crime, see if you can find any immediate evidence. That is the best thing we've got, is that we know where that costumed figure ran to. Alright, it's probably going to take a while if we want to listen to confession, but it's worth talking to Thomas. Well, Andreas, what have you come back to? It's all awful, just awful. I should never have allowed Klaus to publish the 12 articles. I mean, I don't think... Well, maybe this is because of that. This is what happens when common people get agitated by reading nonsense. No, it's not. No, it's not. Come on now. That's not how... That can't be how you see this. Well, yeah, what's the alternative? Forbidding them from reading? Sometimes, yes. See, and this is the issue that, people... Okay, yeah. This is the issue people, especially the Protestants, were having with the Catholic Church. That... And, you know, we've seen Father Thomas throughout this game. Father Thomas, you know, he's been one of the better figures of the church. He is someone who I believe genuinely tends to his community. Seems like he wants best for everybody. I really believe that. I think generally he's a well-meaning man. So there's that. But what you can see here is there's such a sense of paternalism, which is kind of the whole idea, frankly, of the church and having a priest, right? There's this idea that, well, you know, as he says, just because a commoner has learned to read, that does not mean he can fully comprehend any book he finds. Which is why that commoner should access that knowledge through the church hierarchy, through me and my learned brethren, right? That's how this should work. And that is the issue that a lot of Protestant reformers had. Well, they had many issues, but a lot of people came to the belief that, no, we individually should be able to comprehend and understand what we read. We shouldn't have to access it through some far-off hierarchy in Rome. You know, that's a very negative way of putting it, because you did have more local figures like a Father Thomas, but you can see here that paternalism, even at this lowest level. And once again, you know, sometimes there are positive aspects to this, right? I mean, he is literally Father Thomas. He's a father to the community, and there's lots of good to that, but there's bad to that as well. And, you know, I don't think you can take the good and leave the bad, in my opinion. You don't need to put two together, but that is the type of figure that someone like Thomas and a lot of these religious authorities were. Gournot in particular, and really Gournot is like all the bad and none of the good. So he's the other side of it, which is a similar thing, but even worse. Some of these texts are written to inflame passions. They're not at all written with modest intentions. These pamphlets, these books can make people crazed, furious. It's funny, like, the framing here is like you read the 12 articles and become a rabid animal. It's like, no, what happens is people read these things, they understand what's being said to them, and they get angry because they see they're being treated unfairly. They're not being, like, manipulated or brainwashed by the text. Sister Amelie and I have seen what happens when good people become part of a mob, right? And, of course, mob mentality is a very real thing. That there can be something sort of intoxicating about being part of a mob. It can make people act in ways they otherwise might not. But I'd argue that's why individual contemplation is so important. What do you mean? Before we came to Tossing, I was the priest at a town near a Benedictine convent. The town was full of good people. But the good people were whipped into a panic by an educated neighbor, the town doctor. He had read the Malleus Maleficarum that put ideas in his head. Oh, yeah. I thought that sounded familiar. I've heard of this. The Hammer of Witches, a treatise on witchcraft published in Speyer in 1486. Theologians at the University of Cologne condemned the book as unethical and not in line with Catholic doctrine. Despite this, the book has enjoyed widespread popularity. Yeah, there were a couple of prominent books on witchcraft and witch hunting in particular that would be around at the time and after this point. Hmm. Why? The book was condemned by theologians. The doctor's copy contained a sound endorsement from the faculty of the University of Cologne. Oh. One thing the book's author and the doctor shared was a contempt for and a hatred of women. Yeah. So, I mean, and when we talk about witch hunting, this is very true. There was a lot of witch hunting at this time, 15th, 16th century, in Europe. Sometimes people think of things like the Salem witch trials in the Americas, which was a little later. But the witch hunting in Europe, it was at its height, I believe, like I said, sort of 15th, 16th centuries. And after that, it did decline significantly. But the witch hunting, I mean, there were many reasons that people hunted witches. One of them was definitely, for some, a hatred of women, right? I mean, women were, well, I don't know the statistics off the top of my head, but we know that women were the majority of these people accused of witches. Not all of them. There are cases of men, but I think it's the vast majority, right? I mean, don't take my word for it. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it was definitely most of them were women. So that's a big part of it, along with a whole host of other things. So he thought the convent was a coven of witches. In Sister Amelie, he saw not a mystic, but a woman possessed by evil spirits speaking blasphemy. Wow, okay, we're getting the backstory here, by the way. Even St. Hildegard came under suspicion for her visions. And she prevailed, praise God, but we do not live in St. Hildegard's time. The doctor believed the nuns were witches. The local magistrate did not agree, but that did not stop the doctor from inflaming his neighbor's fears. Yeah, many such cases of this. And one interesting thing, and this is particularly about the Salem witch trials, which I know I was just saying is later than a lot of this, and, you know, there's similarities and differences, but one thing, there's been a lot of research, of course, on the Salem witch trials. One thing which we've found is that, you know, it tended to be those who were accused were those who were on the edges of the community in some way, being a widow, being someone who, you know, was maybe not liked, or just not in the center of the community, someone on the borders a little bit, but also, what made you more likely to be a target is if you had a bit of wealth to your name, right? Not necessarily the wealthiest person in town, but if you had something to take, right? Now, put that together in your head, you can see, consciously or not, people like widows were often targeted because they were vulnerable. There were people who, you know, maybe were on the edges of the community, but widows, there were also people who may have had some property or some money to their name that they'd inherited from their husband. So that makes someone a ripe target, right? And so that is what you saw happening when this began to spread. Now, that's just one thing, right? Once again, there are a bunch of reasons people were targeted for being witches, but I think what you saw, and I know a little less about European witch hunting, but in times of struggle, in times when people didn't have a lot, those were times when you'd see a lot of witch hunting because people were looking for somebody to blame for their woes, and maybe even to benefit off of the witch hunting a little bit. No matter what I did, no matter what I said, it made no difference. They wouldn't listen to reason. They wouldn't even listen to scripture. And, you know, I will say, just before we sort of wrap up with the story, you know, Thomas here is comparing the literal witch hunt he went through to the sort of figurative witch hunt that's happening in Tossing right now. And I'll you know, it is a somewhat fair comparison. I will agree that what they have going on for Gurnot is a metaphorical witch hunt, right? He is not the one who committed the crime, but they want to pin it on him, blame him for it. But what I'll also say is I don't think we were necessarily led to this point by the 12 articles. You know what I mean? In fact, I'd argue that the intransigence of the abbot and the authorities led us to this tense point. And then, you know, we were already building a pyre the death of Otto, that's the spark that has lit everything up. That's how I'd frame it. But we all have different perspectives. In the dead of night, they gathered at the convent and set fire to it. Sister Amelie was lucky to escape with her life. The rest of the nuns were not as fortunate. So I'm all too aware of what can happen when a mob forms. I should have known it would happen again. This is my fault. I've got my criticisms, but I don't think you can blame yourself for this, Father. Why not? I share more than a small measure of responsibility. You'd think that Otto's death would have shocked the farmers into abandoning a hopeless cause. No, clearly you do not... See, this is where I've spoken positively of how Father Thomas tends to his community. Here you can see how separate he still is. How he, in some ways, really does not understand the community. Of course, this wouldn't shock them into abandoning the cause. This is only going to inflame them, to use a word you just did. He's going to become a martyr. Of course they wouldn't abandon the cause. It's only inflamed them. Yep. Well, let's not get into a debate about it. Look, do what you can to keep the peasants calm. I'm still looking for Otto's killer. I will, but I fear this has all gone beyond my control. I suppose there's no good fretting about what's already happened. I have to minister to the people of the town as best I can, given the circumstances, and pray for the best. Speaking of which, I need to hear confessions from the townsfolk. It's a tossing tradition after St. John's Eve, in case they got up to any mischief that can't wait until Easter. I have to give priority to the locals, of course, but if you want to wait a few hours, I can hear you. You don't have to, of course, but I'd be remiss if I didn't offer. Not right now, of course. See, this is why I'm talking to everybody. Oh, Tilia, you've got something to say. Andreas, enjoy the bonfire? Up until the murder, I suppose. They only seem to happen when you're here. I mean, look, let's not point it out like that, but, I was kind of thinking that, too. What are you doing back here, anyway? Maybe you're the witch. I came to pay my respects to Brother Piero. We all know this. Why? He can't hear you. He's gone. That's goofy. I mean... Either of these are legitimate answers to me, you know? Like, I think it's perfectly... You know, it's perfectly fine to do that for your own sake. But also... I'm not a religious person, right? So when someone's gone, I don't necessarily believe they can hear us if we talk to them. But I think Andreas believes that, right? So that's what I'm gonna say. And, I don't know. I believe he can hear me. I mean, maybe try and be a little respectful for once in your life. Nonsense. Like, what is this? You're a pagan, not an atheist. A funny thing to say, coming from me. But still, it's a weird attitude that you have, Attilia. Do you work for Father Thomas? We went over this. Work for? I'm his slave. I clear this damn church and keep his house so I have a roof over my head. Around the time the Baron was murdered, I lost my home. Yeah, we've covered this. Sorry I asked. Do you know anything about Otto's murder? No, why would I? And why do you care? I'm just asking. Well, I haven't. Are we done? Yeah, until later. Fine. Maybe I'll accuse you of the murder. I didn't get to accuse you last time. Oh, man. I would like to talk to Martin, who I don't think is responsible, by the way. Good to see you, Andreas. Hello, Cat. Martin seems different from how I remembered him. What changed? Well, that's right. He was still gone by the time you left Tossing. He returned several weeks later, like he always did. Was it travels or time that changed him? Only God knows the truth of a man's heart, but I suspect the challenges he faced on the road improved his memories of home. He hasn't stolen anything or run off in years. Truly, the Lord provides for his faithful. He and Otto were arguing the other day. Do you know why? Were they? I'm sorry, Andreas, but I don't know anything about that. Martin supports Otto in his cause against the abbot's taxes. They didn't have any cause to fight. I don't know, Cat. Their argument was quite heated. Would Martin have any reason to hurt Otto? Way to be direct with it. Of course not. They'd become close friends these past few years, like brothers. Even brothers quarrel. After Franz died, God blessed me by returning my son to me, healed of his darkness. We should be giving thanks that the Lord led Martin to the light. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disturb you. I'm just trying to find out who really killed Otto. Trust me, Andreas. I know my own son. Martin would never do such a thing. Alright, thanks for talking with me. Thank you for hearing me out. Until later, Andreas. Until then. I believe her, honestly. I do. This current incarnation of Martin, I really don't think he did it. No, he's got nothing to say, though. Yeah, it's possible, but I'd be shocked if he did. Brigitte! Hello, Andreas. Could you spare a moment, Brigitte? Brigitte? Sorry, I never know. I suppose. What do you need? It's so strange seeing Martin. What do you mean? It seems like he came back from his travels a changed man. This will be remembered. Okay. For the better, yes. For all the grief he gave me, we're happy now. Is that so bad? No, of course not. He did get into an argument with Otto when I was coming into town, though. What happened there? Why all the questions about my husband, Andreas? What do I say here? I mean, I don't like to lie, but also, and I think I learned this with Lucky, sometimes if you just say this straight up, people obviously don't want to share with you. So maybe I'll lie. I'm trying to catch up on everything that's changed in Tossing. She didn't believe me. You're a poor liar, Andreas. I'm looking for any reason someone might want to murder Otto. Otto is pressing Martin to support him in the town commons, Andreas. Martin has changed, but his history in this town is remembered. He doesn't want to cause more trouble. He didn't want to speak in the commons because he's afraid of the abbot. They squabbled over it, that's all. Otto threatened Martin if he didn't cooperate. What was your husband so afraid Otto knew? Damn. Okay, so I almost got myself in trouble with that lie, but we still did good enough. Help me understand the truth, Brigitte. Martin does have a secret. I'll tell you. Oh my. I got 2 achievements there. What? Oh my god. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. What the hell? Oh, wow. This explains a lot. This is crazy. What? How did no one notice? My Martin never came back. He died on the road. The man who came back is Jobst Farber. Sorry, who? He traveled with my husband, and when Martin died, he took my husband's place. Oh, interesting. So I bet you the story that Martin told us was true, it's just the places were flipped. That Martin was the one who died, and Jobst was the one who survived. This is crazy. They looked alike. No one even noticed. I find that a little hard to believe. That's actually crazy. They looked that alike. They must be twins. Jobst has been a better husband than Martin ever was. He had a rough past, but he's a changed man. He saved the farm and our family. He works hard and lets me spend as much time with Veronica as I want. He's a miracle I never expected to have. Don't know how Otto found out, but I'm not surprised he held it over Jobst to get his way. That wasn't fair of Otto, but Jobst wouldn't kill Otto over it. Oh, this is interesting. So, Jobst. So, we don't actually know as much about this guy as we thought. Now, I'm willing to give him as much of a chance as I gave Martin when it appeared he had changed, though of course it wasn't really Martin. So, now Otto really did have something over Jobst. So, he did have maybe some motive, but to kill him? I don't know. How well do you know Jobst, really? Please, Andreas. I'm pregnant with his child. He's a good man. Leave us out of this. Yeah, but Martin was a total shithead. I'll do what I can to keep you safe. I won't endanger you purposefully. What? I gotta talk to Kat about... This is crazy. Because Kat, she adored her son. She really did. How is she okay with this? Martin. Still can't talk to him? Will Kat talk to me about it? No, she won't. This is insane. That's a real plot twist. I gotta say, I did not expect that. Also, Still, it makes me wonder. I'm curious about if this murder is connected to the murder 7 years ago. If it is, then that it doesn't exonerate Jobst, but it makes it less likely it was him, because he wasn't here then. But it kind of doesn't seem like it is. Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hey, Veronica, how have you been? Well, you know, pulled every which way. Mama's been a cow about when I'll give her grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. Are you two having trouble? Not exactly. York is fine. It's just... Hey, you're both young. Relax, you have time. Easy for you to say, Andreas. You have the easy part. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. It already happened. Well, it's fine. Eddie? This one, I'm just quizzing everybody in town. Hello, Hans, all grown up? Johann? Andreas, you and me need to talk. Alright, what's on your minds? Why are you helping the abbot? You know what he's been doing to our families. Because he's innocent. Innocent? I don't believe it. And even if he didn't kill Otto, he's been slowly killing us for years. I'm not smart like Otto, but I'm not so dumb that I don't know when I'm being shit on. Yeah, this is what I think as well. Do you really think burning down the abbey will make things better? I don't know. But if the abbot doesn't care about what happens to us, maybe we need to hurt something he does care about. It's a dangerous gamble, Johann. The Duke's soldiers could easily raise all of Tossing if we do anything so drastic. You may be right, but I don't know what else to do. Do what you have to do, Mahler. I mean, brother. I agree with you guys. You know what? Maybe it's not time to talk to Peter. He might be a little mad at us. But I understand, right? I agree with y'all, your struggles. But this is not the way, in my opinion. It's not gonna fix anything. I don't think. Ursula? Hello. Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? No, you were very young when I was last in tossing. I buried it in your parents' house. Oh, the artist, Andreas, right? Oh no. I think you told me a story once. Yes, I did. You drew me a flower, too. I still have it. I keep it tucked with my stockings, so I won't lose it. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They say you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in Paris, I learned a new oil technique. No, not about the art, Andreas. About your travels. Alright, alright. No, interesting. Along the Seine, the river, from its source near Dijon through Paris, and out into the English Channel at Le Havre. Paris is the liveliest city I've ever been to. The Notre Dame de Paris Cathedral is always being renovated. And the university has some of the brightest minds I've ever met. Father says university is a waste of time, and that people should learn a trade. It's a funny view to have back then, right? People say that now, but it's a little more relevant now, because if you're well, it depends what country you're in, but for a lot of people, if you're a regular individual, you do have the option between going to university or learning a trade. Of course, in this country, you gotta take on massive debt, but, you know, back at this time, it's not like Ursula has that choice, or any of Peter's kids have the choice between going to university. It's just not gonna happen. I learned a lot in university, but never did finish my degree. You learned how to paint instead. I think that's more interesting. Oh no. I'm very worried about her. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know the stories about Perkta and the Wild Hunt? A little. I didn't learn about them till I lived here. Why? Are they bad? Oh god. This town cannot handle more tragedy. Bad how? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perkta, and spirits, and charms. And the old woman, Attilia, she talks about them too, and says all these words I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways or something. So, why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says that I shouldn't listen to any of it. He's probably right. He said it's nonsense, and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said he only tolerates it with old people because they're too stuck in their ways. I mean, that's how it often was, right? We've talked a lot about through this series how pagan traditions continued with sort of a Christian gloss on top of them. But it also, I mean, it's sort of like what we deal with in our lives, where you tolerate things from old people that you wouldn't from young people, because they're not going to learn anything new now. So you're just like, alright, fine. And that's how they, you know, well, it depends where you look. Sometimes pagan beliefs were really not tolerated, but you can see in this community, that's how they handle it, right? It's like, well, they're probably not going to learn anything new now, so they can keep on with their old pagan beliefs. I don't want to get in trouble, but Grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. So are they bad? I mean, they... Yeah... I don't... That's interesting. I don't even have the option to say they are bad. I wonder if a different background would have changed that. No, but I've got a church background. Maybe different choices would change what I can say here. This is what I think. They're not bad, but those stories could get you into trouble. Maybe you shouldn't learn about the old ways. I know I'm killing family tradition, sorry to say, but I really don't want little Ursula to get herself into trouble. Really? Wow. Oh, that's funny. So, my theology background is helping me. The fact that I told an ordinary travel story, I guess my last story sucked, because it's not helping. Yeah, some knowledge is dangerous for the soul, even if it doesn't seem like it. Okay, that's not really what I meant. I'm preaching to her at this point. What I meant, Ethan, what I meant, is that it's dangerous because if you yap about this, you're gonna get yourself in trouble with the church. But that's not quite how Andres is taking it. Alright. Thanks, Andreas. Until later. You know, I don't wanna... Like I said, it's not that I want to necessarily discourage those beliefs, but just... It's just dangerous for her. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. Nothing from Peter. I'm kind of relieved, honestly. Alright. Let's check with everybody in town. Andreas, how did you get caught up in another murder? It's not my fault. I'm not trying to do it, I swear. Oh, I didn't think you were. Still, it's an awful position to be in, I know! Listen, Andreas, I can't talk any sense into Peter. I understand he's angry. We're all angry. But threatening the abbot? Burning down the abbey? The Duke's soldiers will tear this town apart. I'm doing what I can, Andreas. Thank you. I know Peter is mostly bluster, but... just worried. Worried for all of us. I understand. I'll talk to you later, Andreas. Till then. Yeah. It's a tough situation. Because once again, I've said it repeatedly, I very much empathize with their position, but this just cannot be the right move. Till? Till's another believer in the old ways, at least in part. Oh! I guess, yeah. I don't know why I didn't expect to see her, but here she is. Oh, Andreas. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ava. I knew something like this would happen. He believed in what he was doing. I know he was doing the right thing. Andreas, I was so scared. I don't know what I'm going to do now. We'll get through this, all of us. My father doesn't get us all killed. God, I hope he doesn't. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry, Andreas. I'm just so tired. It's alright. Maybe we could come back later and share a meal together. Yes, I think that'd help. Later, then. Until then. Alright. Well, maybe we'll eat with her or somebody else later. You've got a lot of meal options in this game. Let's check around the rest of town first before we go talk to Klaus. I'm certain Klaus is going to be fired up about all this, since he's seemed to be one of the more ardent supporters of Otto's peasant movement. Andreas, it seems you're in the thick of another mystery again. So it would seem. God willing, you can put an end to this unrest. Peasants are angry. What am I gonna do? Even if what you and Casper said about the abbot makes sense, they don't want to hear it. It's too easy to blame Father Gurneau for Otto's murder. It is. And like I said, I really like the position we've been put in. Well, I kind of don't like it, but that's why I like it, you know? Because I think, like I said, a lot of us playing will be very sympathetic towards the peasantry. Just, you know, given that we're all modern people who probably have particular perspectives about history. I won't say for everybody. Maybe some of y'all really loved the abbot when you played. But I like that they've put us, I wouldn't necessarily say against the peasantry, but kind of on an opposing side, right? Not because I'm opposed to their mission, but just because of what's happened with this murder. So it complicates things a little bit, so I like it. You know, I mean, the first murder, the issue was more, we were in opposition to Gurneau, right? Because he accused Piero. I never liked Gurneau. So I wasn't really that concerned about... Okay, I was concerned about angering him because I was worried it would jeopardize the investigation, but I wasn't worried about leaving on bad terms with Gurneau, and we did leave on bad terms, so I was like, oh well, it is what it is. But this is different. Could you talk to Peter? He's putting everyone in danger by threatening the abbey. I have been talking to Peter, believe me. I'm doing everything I can to calm him down and keep him from resorting to violence. As long as you keep doing everything you can to find Otto's killer, we're both doing the best we can. I am. Good. Keep trying. Trust in Providence. We are all in God's hands. Yeah, I mean, Klaus was a zealous follower of the movement. I think, honestly, Peter's a less zealous follower, but he's more violent, and he's angry, right? He's angry because things have been really bad for him. I think more than even a lot of the other townsfolk, or peasants, I should say. I also like, it's interesting that they do include that division between the townsfolk and the peasants, right? Because, of course, there was that division. Maybe we should accuse, Lucky. Oh, what the hell? Has she not given birth yet? Andreas, I can't talk right now. I need to watch over Rachel. I mean, I'm aware that the process can take a while, but still, sheesh. Hello, Lucky. Andreas, not looking good, is it? No, it is not. I have to find the real killer. Couldn't have been the abbot. You don't need to convince me. Best you get on that, then. The unrest bodes ill. Peasants are about to do something foolish. I pray I can stop them. It's gonna be so bad. Do you have any thoughts on... I was honestly intending to do that, but he seems a little more calm. Do you have any thoughts on who might have done this? It wasn't me, in case you were thinking to accuse me again. Otto had a few conflicts, but nobody I'd call an enemy. Get going. You don't have much time. Alright, whatever. I should have accused him again. It would have been funny. Would it have achieved anything? Nope. Not at all. Oh, we're picking up some leads. I still think that going through the woods is our best lead currently. But there's more to investigate. There is more to investigate. Hello, Magdalene. Klaus? Nothing to say. Alright. Let's head upwards a little bit to North Town, and then into the mill to talk to Lenhart, who, as we talked about earlier, everybody in town hates, basically. Right, yeah. We should check out the spot of the murder as well. Oh, okay. Not really relevant. Doc Stoles. Wondervort. Let's talk to Stoles then. Okay, nothing to say. Typical. Is there anything happening in your house? I like the idea of talking to somebody. They just say, good day. And then right in front of them, just opening the door to their home and walking in. I'm just checking something out in here. Is Baltus around? There he is. Hello, Baltus. Greetings, Andreas. You have arrived at the ideal moment. Alright, less than ideal considering Otto's recent death. Yeah, that's what I'm here to talk to you about, not inventing. Took place right outside your house. You truly didn't catch anything that would be useful to my investigation? Alas, as said, Werner and Lenhart and I were engaged in a stimulating debate when we heard the crash outside. Well, at least that's been corroborated. So they were all talking, or they were together when this happened. And Baltus, I mean, maybe he's really fooled me, but I believe him. I only saw a figure flee, but unfortunately, I have no useful details on whoever it may have been. I hope you find a lead, for I have severe doubts about the involvement of the abbot in this gruesome affair. Meanwhile, I'm drawing close to the final design of my latest invention. As such, I would very much like to hear your thoughts on it. Okay. Splendid! I've been devising something most unique. Come. At present, we have a problem. The peasants suffer under harsh conditions. Do you agree? They do not have it easy, no. They toil constantly, but achieve little over bare subsistence. They are then taxed heavily. The peasants grow angrier, hence the nascent troubles across all the lands. It is a dangerous time. So I've devised a tool to lessen their drudgery. Here, take a look at this schematic. This better be something really good, Baltus. What the hell? How on earth is this plow gonna work? Baltus, I can already give you 100 reasons why this is not gonna actually work or be effective in a field. I will say Baltus, I mean, he seems mostly benign, but he's got this thing that a lot of these technological types have. You can look at people like this today in Silicon Valley, who maybe see the problems of the world or see some warped problems that they've imagined and think technology is going to solve this. When, you know, yes, technology has solved many problems throughout history, but I would argue what's more important is actually how that technology is used. And I would also argue that technology has sometimes or even often not been used in the benefit of most of mankind, because it has typically been controlled by a small few. And when we look at the issues of the world today, I would argue we've got the technology to solve a lot of them. It's more a political problem than a technological problem. For example, I do not think we can invent our way out of the problems we have. Some people do. These, like, techno-futurists. I don't think so. You can invent all the new technology you want, but unless you can apply it effectively through politics, no one likes politics, but unless you can do that, then no problems are really going to be solved, or problems will be solved, but new problems will be created. That's my view, at least. Behold the plow! In front of it an automaton, man or beast, it matters little, dragging the plow behind it. Have you seen any artificial people before? The issue, Andreas, is familiar with automatons, right? And some of you might be surprised to hear that automatons were a thing at this time, and actually had been a thing for a long while. But they were typically contained to just sort of trinkets of the wealthy. And frankly, automatons would really continue to be that in many ways, which is why I don't think this would be an effective technology. Unfortunately, you're gonna need some other ideas if you want to make the farming process more effective. And at this time, there were more effective ideas that actually did make farming more effective. I've seen the more shepherds who strike the bell in a carousel of automated magi in the Piazza San Marco clock in Venice. Ah, father and son Ranieri. An impressive piece of work. So you understand of which I speak, the intricacies of machinery. Gears within gears, symmetrical coils turning a shaft system that leads to the gearing mechanism. Controls that are quite complex, but allow for it to follow a predetermined path. It toils so the peasant does not have to. Yeah, this is what I'm concerned about. Would it have enough strength to plow through rough soil? But apparently... Oh, Andreas. Isn't this similar to Leonardo's self-propelled cart? I may have seen it in a manuscript once. No! This is a different class of invention altogether. The universe reveals itself through the minute intricacies of clockwork. Oh, does it? There are still a few imperfections to work out, but I can feel I'm on the correct path. Tell me, Andreas, what do you think? Be truthful. There can be no progress without truth. Jesus. These are my two options? Andreas, why do you make things so difficult sometimes? I think it's shit. I think it's shit, honestly. Should I lie? Honestly, it's shit. Sorry. I figured as much. That's what my father would have said too. God, I'm sorry. This is a deeply, deeply traumatized man, and I just fucking slapped him in the face, basically. I fear I'm a disappointment. Jesus. Oh no. Your father's also an inventor? He is. With a sharp mind and a sharper tongue if need be. To be clear, I would have rather said something more conciliatory than it's shit. But I wanted to be honest that this is not it. You should work on something else. You clearly got some genius to you. Turn it towards a different project. But apparently Andreas could only be, dishonest or a dickhead. So I guess I chose a dickhead. Why did you leave in the first place? I had to prove myself to my father, I suppose, and maybe... My father had attempted to arrange for me marriage. I did not feel ready. Jesus. Okay, let's pull back a little bit, Andreas. Jesus Christ. It's not so bad once you get used to it. It is a commitment that causes me trepidation, even to this day. In any case, there's so much more I have to learn. My inventions have not been as successful as I would like. Perhaps it's because you're lacking the correct frame of mind. What do you mean? If your inventions so far amount to little, you must change your approach. Oh god. Oh no. Huh. Well, this doesn't seem that helpful. I mean, if you wanted to do something more artistic, maybe. Seems like he wants to do something that's going to have real-world impact. I don't really want to tell this guy to invent weapons. That seems bad. Think bigger, Baltus. Reach higher. You must have more ambition. A lofty goal. I fear ambition has so far been my shortfall. I reach for more than I can attain. But I thank you, Andreas. I invited you to exchange thoughts, and you've proven most valuable. This conversation has given me much to consider. But now, I guess I must return to work. Good luck, Baltus. Until later. I wish I could have been a little less frank with him, but, I hope he takes my rather, straightforward advice to heart. Because like I said, he's clearly a smart guy. I think if he maybe did change what he was going for, he could do something useful. So let's hope he can achieve that. Now let's go up to the mill next. And then I would like to stop by the Abbey, and then go and take that path down in the forest. Martha, Anton, we've talked to this family before. At the festival, in fact. Okay. Elsa. Ooh. Oh, we've been inside their house. They've got their big greyhound. Hello, Staub. Always gotta pet the dog, folks. I will say, Leonhardt does have a firearm, but it wasn't a shooting, so I doubt that has anything to do with it. Ah, Andreas. It appears you're caught up in another murder again. But unfortunate timing for you. If I can find the real killer and prevent more bloodshed, maybe it was a good thing I was here. Just stall them. Either they'll see the error of their ways, or the Duke will send soldiers to Tossing. It's a show of force. That will quench the peasants' bloodlust. If you say so. I do. Jesus. Yeah, I'm sure you'd love to be part of the shooting, Lenhart. Jesus. In any case, if you get tired of investigating, my door is open. If you'd like to join my family for a meal, or see the mountains, just let me know. See the mountains? Yes, for a brief hunt. Hunt? Yes, for deer. I might be able to help you get some perspective on the situation. Maybe some other time. You change your mind, just say the word. I'll make the arrangements. Okay. Interesting. So we can go and hunt with Lenhart. I mean, I would like to learn more about the fella, but we just don't have that much time. We have time to do... Well, we've got a day. So we have today. What does he mean by a day? Does he mean until this night? Or until tomorrow? I think I've got time to do between 1 and 3 activities, if I had to guess. But it could be as little as 1. Could be as many as 3, which ain't that many. Hey, Paul. Anything new down here? I guess not. Alright, last thing I'd like to check is the Abbey itself. Just to talk... Well, to see what condition it's in. Like, is there someone holding the Abbey at torch point right now? Or have they been left to their own devices until tonight or the next day? And if possible, I'd like to talk to the abbot and some of the monks. And some of the nuns, for that matter. Though I thought they might be able to help us with this plant situation. But it seems now that we've got another lead on that, which is heading through the forest. Appears to be open. Reliquary used to contain the hand of Saint Moritz. Appears to be missing, though. I wonder where it's gone. Probably into the Abbey. Because the most recent update we had on that is that the whole shrine was closed. Now, I guess the shrine's been opened, but the hand has been taken. I'm sure the abbot's going to be even more, you know, angry than he usually is. And even less helpful. Zadena. What the hell are you doing? Hi. I feel like I don't usually see you there. Matilda. God bless you, Master Mahler. God bless you, Sister Matilda. I wanted to thank you, Master Mahler. Yeah, Matilda is one of the few people we left in good standing with last time. Or, you know what? We left in good standing with a couple people. But Matilda and Piero, you know, those were some few people we actually did favors for. Because we did a lot of people dirty. He doesn't even remember why, but I do. I don't recall doing anything worthy of thanks, sister. You understood that despite what happened to me at the hands of the Baron, you did not condemn me. I appreciate that. The evidence pointed to Ference, not you. Yes. Well, the event was still a tragedy. Otto's death only more so now. I'd always thought well of Prior Ference, but... Forgive me, Master Mahler, it's not my place. I ought to get back to work. God bless you. And you, sister. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. Maybe not a great look. Considering a lot of these people knew Ference. God bless you, Master Mahler. Hello, Sister Margaret. Sister Gertrude said one of the townsfolk was killed. What happened? Otto Zimmerman, the town carpenter, was crushed by part of the construction at the Rathaus. Oh no! I heard some of the sisters saying it was a murder, and the peasants chased the monks into the library. Sister Zdena even said they were accusing Father Abbot. Is that true, Master Mahler? Yes, but no one knows who killed Otto. I'm trying to find out the truth. Pray you do, Master Mahler. Everyone's getting scared. I heard Sister Sophie last night crying. Mother Illuminata says God will preserve us, but everything just keeps getting worse. Maybe the Lord is punishing the Abbey. That is true. I always like our religious lines, but I'm curious what she thinks. Why would God want to punish Kearsarge, sister? I don't think that the abbot should treat the peasants so harshly, but I don't know what to think anymore. I think you're right. Has anything else happened in the convent recently? Well, a man ran into me when I was washing lettuce in the herbat a few days ago. Is that so strange? Yes. Even in a joint monastery, the sisters and brothers' quarters are separated. He should have been in the church since it was almost Vespers. Oh, okay. This could be useful. See, this is why I talk to everybody. Can you describe him? Well, she couldn't see him, so that's going to be difficult. Damn! And you couldn't even see who it was. Jeez, Andreas. Don't need to say it like that. Strange indeed. Do you remember anything about him? I can do my best, even though the hut was dark. I knew it was a man because his figure was taller than any of the sisters, and he grunted when he bumped me. Could it be one of our suspects, Master? Perhaps. It's possible, but I'm not sure if this is really related to the murder, but it could be. It's unusual either way. Did you recognize his voice? No, he didn't say anything, but I felt the texture of one of the habits when he bumped into me. His skin was softer too, and he was knocked back when we collided. Fabric of the habit, soft skin. He grabbed me and moved me out of the way. No beard either. I mean, this is sounding like Father Gurnot, to be honest. What would a brother be doing in the herbal hut? I don't know. Getting some of those yellow flowers, perhaps? He startled me, but was in and out of the hut before I could call out. Banged things around, too. I think it was one of the younger brothers. That's probably what the soft skin suggests. The rest aren't light on their feet. I can hear them shuffling all the way across the garden. And that still leaves a few suspects. Brother Lucas and Brother Guy both fit that description, as does the abbot! Okay, I was thinking of the abbot. But the abbot has his own house. What would he be doing sneaking around in the herb hut? Father Gurnot would just order one of the brothers to get something for him anyway. Master Mahler. How cheeky. I don't know, I mean, if Gurnot wanted to do something secretly, it could have been him. That leaves Lucas or Guy. If I may, Master Mahler. Yes, Sister Margaret? Brother Lucas and I are friends. I don't think he'd hide from me. That leaves Brother Guy. Goddamn Guy. Guy is young and fast enough to be in and out in a flash. But Sister Margaret, what was he doing here? I don't know, Master Mahler. I couldn't tell what he was doing or if he took anything. By the time I realized what happened, Sister Sophie came and got me for supper. Did you tell any of the sisters? I told Sister Gertrude about it, and she agreed it was very odd, since whoever it was should have been at supper. I might be able to help you identify which herb jars he grabbed. We should get her blessing first, though. She's a stickler about her herbs. Would you help me find her? Of course, sister. This is very interesting. This, like I said, it may not be related to the murder, but it could be. And if it is, then it means maybe Gurnot was involved. He just had Guy do the murder for him. Or maybe Guy did it of his own volition. Or maybe I'm extrapolating far too much. Sister Gertrude, may I take Master Mahler into the herb hut? We're looking for anything that man might have left behind. Ah, you're mystery intruder. Why are you so interested, Andreas? I don't know if it's a good idea to point at one of the brothers. I'd like to see if whoever it was left anything behind that may be connected to Otto's murder. Very well. I'd prefer you not just open every jar, however. Some of the herbs need to remain sealed. And how are we supposed to figure out if he left anything? I know the jars by sound. If you gently shake them, Master Mahler, I should be able to tell you which ones he picked up as I came in. I know he used 3 of the jars. Once we find all 3, we can figure out which is the last one he opened. Alright, that sounds reasonable. This is sounding a little less related to the murder, but who knows? This way, then. Alright, start shaking them. Oh my god, there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, you should take some of this before you go into the cities, Andreas. It's feverfew. It clears the phlegm of the head quite effectively. Ugh, that stuff. It's gross, but Sister Gertrude makes everyone at Kirsa eat it. And you've been well because of it. Honestly, I think we could do with a bit more of it in our meals. Ugh. Let's shake it. Yes, he definitely picked that one up. Oh, okay. That is useful then. Um, let's examine them all. Dorth. Oh yes, I need to take that jar up to the abbey. What is it? An ointment for the abbot, made with Dorth. Oh, that one. It's for his scabies. I'm always making it. He uses a lot of it. Okay. Not that one, then. Hydromel. Don't spill that one. I just made a new batch of hydromel, so it's very full. We use it as a base for many remedies, so I'm always making more. It's fun to drink, too. What is it? Oh, is it alcohol? Much nicer than the wine we have at supper. I see. Oh. This is very curious. What's in that one? Dill. Very good when the cows are ill, but a bit much for us unless cooked. Nope. Woad. You'll like this one, Andreas. It's woad. Oh, that creates the most exquisite blue ink. I didn't realize you grew it here. We have a small supply. Not for ink, though. Brother Adok can't hold a quill as steadily as he once could. I make an ointment with woad that helps his palsy. Okay. Nope. Mandragora. Some choose to use the mandrake for evil arts, but these have all been cleansed. Oh. Only Sister Gertrude handles the mandrakes. And with good reason, too. I only use them for pains that can't be rid of any other way. Here, something different. Put it back. I can't put this back, folks. It is not letting me put this back. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, I gotta say this game's performed pretty well so far. Not many glitches, but alright, give me a second. I'm gonna have to. There's no save system. I'm gonna have to quit and then make our way back here, so give me a moment. Alright, we are back. I had to replay the last 10 minutes of gameplay, which was pretty annoying, given that gameplay is just clicking through dialogue. But anyway, I also found out that it is not the same stuff as last time. Because I tried the birch room and it wasn't that. Not this either. So we'll have to go through all these again. Okay, so the woads. Okay, so we've tested the ones we did last time. Now on to the next ones. I'll be very careful where I click, because I do not want to do all that again. Oh yes, that reminds me. I'll need to make some more tithymol salve soon. I'm not familiar with this herb. Ha, I'm not surprised. You're a healthy man, Andreas. Tithymol is used for gout and arthritis and memory problems. Father Thomas comes to get some for Sister Amelie every now and then. Oh, interesting. Nope. Oh, Bethany. I'm surprised to see that herb among your jars, sister. You know its uses, Andreas? Only that it is a dangerous herb in the wrong hands. Indeed, Bethany can be used for terrible invocations and spells. Okay. I keep a jar because it can be a good remedy against such magic when used correctly. So it's interesting we see here, of course, we've talked about medicine before in this series. There was not a sort of developed medical system like we have now. You had university-trained doctors like Stolz, but, you know, surgeons, a lot of the surgeons of the era, like Florian, more did it as a trade, right? They would not go to university for it. You had local wise women, or even nuns in this case, who would know the sort of local herbal remedies. And so within your medicine, you have mixed in some true stuff, some fake stuff, right? You have the theories of the humors and, you know, medicine back from the time of Galen and all this type of stuff. Also ideas of magic and spells and invocations, so it's an interesting medical system, you could say. Nope. Alright, let's go to this side. Starting bottom this time. Pallium. Pallium. What about this one? Oh, psyllium. We don't use that one often, save for terrible fevers. Nope. I can smell that one from here. Oh, that's the licorice root. Sometimes it overpowers the other herbs nearby, and I can't identify them by scent. I see. Nope. Ah, yes. Lungvort. Very useful herb. Sister Lisbeth once came down with humors so terrible she could barely breathe. But when Sister Gertrude gave her wine with lungwort, her coughing got better. Praise God. Interesting. Okay. Ah, the hemlock. We only keep a little bit of it around. A little bit can make you terribly sick if eaten. However, it reduces inflammation of the body when the leaves are applied on an injury. I helped Sister Sophie when she dropped a pot on her thumb. The swelling had gone down by the next morning. Yeah, you do not want to consume this. Huh, interesting. Oh. Okay. Well, we can't examine the rest of them. Alright, first this one, then this one, since it's next to it. Okay, so he started here, and then he went to the other end of the cupboard. And then he went back here. Great. Wonderful. Seems like it's still sealed. Let's see what's inside. Oh my! Same reaction. What? That's a lot of money. Someone's keeping money, huh? Brother Guy was hiding all this in the herb hut, but why? Brother Guy? He's in charge of the treasury. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Brother Guy is skimming off the top a little bit, isn't he? He's in charge of the treasury. Why would he need to put all this here? I'm not sure, but it's definitely suspicious. I should do some more investigating. Anyway, thank you both for your help. Dang, okay. Are we... So, we've got a second investigation on top of the first one now. Ay, ay, ay. We now need to, investigate Brother Guy and his duplicitous accounts. I mean, frankly, I guess I'll have to talk to Guy about it. God bless you, Master Mahler. God bless you, Sister Sophie. It's good to see you again. And you, Master Mahler. The garden looks spectacular. You've taken good care of it. I know it's been some time, Master Mahler, but I must remind you of my vows. I cannot speak with men. That's right. Forgive me, sister. God bless you, Master Mahler. They all say that, but they all talk anyway. Who the hell is... Oh, okay. What's going on in here? Lisbeth. God bless you, Master Mahler. Uh-huh. How are you faring? Mother Illuminata is grieved to hear about Otto's death, as am I. The Lord granted me the gift of knowledge and grief, so I will help the sisters how I can. We know all things work together for good for those who love God. Indeed, Master Mahler. I pray your counsel soothes their spirits, as do I. Is working for Mother Illuminata very different from working for Mother Cecilia? My duties remain the same, regardless of who the prioress is. You're very devoted to the prioress, sister. Surely you've noticed some changes. Oh? Mother Illuminata prefers a warmer room. Maintain the hearth in her room throughout the night. Seems like a lot of work. May it bring glory to God. So are you suggesting Is the undercurrent there that Illuminata may be a little more demanding? I must return to my duties. God bless you. And you. Well, let's talk to Illuminata. Oh, okay, never mind. Nothing to say. Let's head into the Abbey then. I think once we've gone through the Abbey, we'll wrap this episode up. I know I didn't actually do any of the longer activities we had in front of us, but like I said, before I committed to something... Oh, wow. It's been a little bit defaced in here due to the peasants rioting through. Oh, so they are guarding. Interesting. But, you know, I want to check with everybody, so I make sure I've got everything before we commit, as I said. Peter's ordered everyone to keep out of the library, including you, Andreas. Okay. Wow. Damn, they took everything, huh? Oh no, the peasants looted everything in here, too! Ciborium, a cup or other vessel for the Holy Host to sit within before and after the Eucharist, typically made out of precious metals. Tabernacle holds the Holy Host in a locked and secure box between services of the Eucharist, God's holy place. Well, we'll say that they've belonged to the Abbey for centuries. We should look around to see if anything is left. I was gonna say, we know a secret way into the library, so... Damn. Oh, look! A journal. Huh, it might be Guy's ledger! Let's take a look. I don't understand any of this. Neither do I, Casper. Let me take a look at these entries. All of them? Oh, man. A lot. The Abbey's income. Mostly donations from pilgrims. Not much. So not much of an income. Okay, so... I thought we were gonna have to go through literally every entry. These are the Abbey's expenses. Some of these numbers are awfully high. So low income, high expenses. What is going on here? Exactly. Guy. Wait a minute. I think I see now. Guy is using double bookkeeping, a difficult type of accounting to understand. The Abbey is struggling to make ends meet, but the accounts seem to balance out. Okay. What is this? Oh, this page is not part of the ledger. It's just a sheet of parchment with a few notes. But why was it tucked away in the ledger like this? I should hang on to it just in case. Something doesn't feel right. Wait, what does it say? What does it say, Andreas? Come on, you gotta let me know. There's definitely something going on here. What? I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. We're at to stay out of the library, but how about the scriptorium, eh? So are the monks all locked up in there? Or have they been allowed to roam a little bit? I guess we'll find out. No, I think they're all in the library. They're being kept in there. Interesting. I'm gonna go and check the abbot's house. Just because it's a good time to do so. While he's not here. Let me check these yellow flowers as well. Just in case, just in case. Oh. These are cucumbers. You know what? Now that you say it, I can see that. And we'll check the prior's house as well. You know, maybe we pin this on the prior again. A different prior, but still. That'd be kind of nefarious. Oh my god. They really tore the place up, huh? Dang. Alright, nothing to check. I mean, look, I'm not, the peasants raiding the abbot's wine supply. It doesn't upset me too much. It is a shame about some of the old artifacts, but I will say, well, we need to find out what's happening with the bookkeeping, but the peasants have been pretty hard done while the abbot continues to, take taxes from them, so, you know. But I definitely, I would like to stop this whole place from being burned to the ground. You know? That would not be good. It really wouldn't. Even if we've got issues with the abbey, which we do, particularly due to the abbot. You know. I'd rather not see this whole place destroyed. Yeah. Nothing new here. Alright, let's, head out this direction. We'll see if we can talk to any of the monks in the library. Oh, right, check the prior's house first, just because we're a little nosy. Any secret notes here? Nope. Alright. Oh, dang. Have we been in here since last time? Maybe. Maybe not. It looks so different. Oh, wow. Brother Guy's old desk. Why are there still supplies here? Mostly writing tools and parchment inside, except... Wait, what's this? Are those lemons? And a penknife? Lemon juice can be used as disappearing ink. I wonder if Guy's hidden anything on that bit of parchment we found in the ledger. I'll use the candle on his desk to check. Oh, Guy, you're in trouble, man. I'm not gonna go easy on you. Good. Oh, there's something. Yeah. I see it, Andreas. I don't see any. What? What do you mean? I see. Can I zoom in a little bit more? Look, there's text all the way down, Andreas. What do you want me to do here? You're gonna need a whole fireplace to see all this. What do you want me to do, Andreas? I'm looking at the text. It's here. Let's read it now. I can't read it. Oh, there we go. I see. No, whoa. It's burning. Okay, I understand how this is working. I think I slightly misunderstood the, how this was going to work. God, this is a slow process. Oh, God. I gotta be careful. Oh, my God. Sorry, I'm being so quiet. I'm just focusing. Make sure Andreas doesn't fucking burn this page down. Brother, come on, you can read it at this point. Oh, there we go. Oh my, Guy was stealing from the Abbey. As expected. In March alone, he stole almost 7 florins worth of funds. That's as much as my father makes in months. Well, no wonder that, the Abbey's struggling so much. He's sending it to the account of an Augsburger man who's depositing it with the Fuggers. Oh! Rather prominent. This about to say in a prominent, wealthy family, but here we go. A prominent, extremely wealthy banking family in Augsburg. They held business interests throughout the free imperial cities, a monopoly on the European copper market. Very famous family from this era. If Otto knew about this, Guy would certainly have motivation to silence him. At the very least, it's evidence we can use to show Guy was sending skim money to a proxy account in Augsburg. Yeah, I am definitely No, I'm not. Well, will I blame him? I might. I really don't like the guy. Okay. Can't go in the library. And that's where all the monks are. Peter's orders. Who put Peter in charge, okay? That is a little surprising to me. I mean, like, you know. It seems like Peter just suddenly took charge. I mean, obviously we know that he really hated the Abbey. Fair enough. But he didn't seem to me to be the most obvious next choice for leadership. Oh dang, they really... Even the crypt was spared from looting. Yeah, I can see that. Here we go. This is where I was going. Good thing we have that secret passage, eh? Who is there? Is it you, Lord, come to claim my soul? It's Andreas, Brother Adolf. Oh, Andreas. Dear boy. Are you ill? I am fine. The escape to the library left me out of breath. Still? Uh-oh. I feel aches, a heavy heart, but it will pass if God wills it. Could someone help you, Florian, or... Do not concern yourself with me, Andreas. The others. Make sure the others are well. Do what I can. Good, good. I must rest. Oh my god. Keep holding on, Brother Adolf. Jesus, he is, like, really bad. Or no. I'll talk to you last. Oh, I'll talk to Guy last as well, just because I think we might get a confrontation. You're printing as well, eh? Andreas Mahler. I am, as always, glad to see you, but surely you've put yourself at risk by sneaking in here. You cannot keep yourself out of danger and trouble, can you? You seem to have an act for it. May God watch over you and grant safe passage through harm. Still, I must ask, why have you come to the library? I want to see how you guys are holding up. We're not out of danger, if that's what you have in mind. The peasants are on edge, and we're stuck. You fear they truly want more violence? They may not be trained soldiers, but it does not take much military acumen to burn down a building full of books. If they hurt the abbot or damage the abbey, the Duke's armies will not show leniency. Believe me, a direct confrontation with real soldiers will end in a slaughter. You've said much about the peasants, but what of you and your brothers? Oh, I'm well, Andreas. I have been through worse. The Battle of Cosmin, Siege of Dornach Castle, death and suffering. Too much of that, perhaps, for a young mind. Ah, long enough by now. Long ago by now. Here, others who hold my attention. I worry about Volkbert and Rudiger. They're gentle people, not able to withstand this terror and violence. But I'm especially worried about Adolf. Yeah, me too. What's the matter with him? He's old and frail, and his health has grown worse since we fled here. He remarks of pains of the chest. I'm cut off from my tools, and were it not so, I'm unsure of what might help against his affliction. Perhaps Salvia salvatrix or Papaver somniferum? I'm willing to do what I can to help. You're a good heart, Andreas. Asking Sister Gertrude might be most prudent in this case. She knows the plants best. Be safe. And you as well, Brother Florian. Interesting. Oh no. Volkbert. He's not doing well. No, 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 no. Volkbert, it's going to be alright. How can you know that, Lucas? Trust in Providence, brother. The Lord guides us through Gethsemane. They're gonna hurt us. They won't. Look, Andreas is here. He'll help. Lucas, Volkbert, yes, I'll help in any way I can. It's all looking better already, Volkbert. God has sent us a mediator. Oh, poor Volkbert. I don't want to die. You're not going to. We all will. No, no, please. Volkbert, peace and calm. Think of the heavenly realms above us, where angels sing praise to our Lord every day. Will I join them if I die? We all join the choir, one day. But you won't die here, Volkbert. Listen to Andreas. He will help us. Speaking of, let me stir the pot a little. Have either of you seen Brother Guy doing anything odd around the Abbey? Not that I can remember, but I'm usually busy in the kitchen. Many brothers to feed, after all. Maybe. I did see him go into the abattoir the other day near Vespers. He had a book with him. Nothing strange about seeing Brother Guy with a book, but he doesn't go into the abattoir. He doesn't even go to the animal pens. That's work for me and Brother Wojslav. I see. Thank you, Brother Volkbert. Is that helpful? What does that mean for Brother Guy? No need to worry. I appreciate the help. God save us. Oh, poor Volkbert, man. Whoops, Daisy. Well, I'm gonna check the abattoir then first. So Volkbert and Rudiger are freaking out. Let's check in with these two. Praying, I believe. Oh, man. Brother Rudiger, is that the Petrus slide? I don't know what that is. Brother, can you hear me? It's an old song from his home, Andreas. I think it soothes him. I like it. A song meant for times of need, and I believe we are in need at this time. I worry about Brother Rudiger. He has been in deep prayer ever since we fled into the library. All this violence and strife does not conform with his gentle soul. Don't worry, Brother Rudiger, it will all be alright. You'll find out who killed Otto, won't you? I have to. There's too much at stake. See, I told you. Yeah, keep singing. I'll leave you be. Bless you both. God bless you, Andreas. Okay, those two are struggling. Anything different than Matthew says? Wojslav. Hello, Brother Wojslav. Do you have a moment? Of course, Andreas. What do you need? I was hoping to ask you about Brother Guy. What about him? Has he been doing anything odd lately? Sorry, Andreas. I don't know what you mean. I think he may have had a reason to kill Otto. Andreas, that's a grave accusation. Am I gonna get 2 members of the Abbey killed? Parents and then Guy? Do you have any evidence to support this assertion? Sister Margaret heard him rustling about in the sisters' herb hut, and we found a large sack of coins. Sister Margaret is blind, Andreas. She likely ran into one of the sisters. What would Brother Guy even be doing in the sisters' garden? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Sister Margaret knew it was him, though. She recognized his voice. He's hiding money in the sisters' herb hut, but I don't know why. Several of the brothers were affronted when he demanded Father Gurno reveal the Abbey's financial record. But for Guy to be hiding money? What is going on? This is so funny. Persuade Wojslaw. I've got nothing positive or negative. You can implicate one of the brothers in Otto's death? No, Andreas, not for your convenience. Enough of this. God bless you. Not really the path I would have chosen, but, wasn't really given much of an option. Okay. you know what? I think... I feel like I didn't have much of a chance with that persuasion check. I'm gonna wrap up this episode here. I was sort of waiting till we got to a natural end point, but this is a long day. There's a lot to do. We have to investigate Brother Guy, talk to Gurneau here, investigate the murder. I mean, there's a whole lot to accomplish. This has been a relatively long episode already, so I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed this one, please leave a like on the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. I hope you're all having a great day today, and I will see you all again next time. Goodbye.